Hello, my name is Courtney Skinner. I'm a researcher here in Appleton, Wisconsin. I've been uncovering some corruption in the Manitowoc County, Calumet County, Wisconsin. And I've put out quite a few videos. We do this research too much, and we're looking for answers to free Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey. And today I have a guest. Well, she's a guest to you, but she's a friend to me. And her name is Kim. And if you want to say your last name, that's up to you, Kim. I'm not sure, but Kim, welcome.
Thank you, Courtney.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Okay, you didn't want to use your live face, which is fine. I hate using my live face, but I don't get much of a choice anymore. So anyway, it is what it is. We're coming to you. You're in another state, but I want to explain to people that I have a few different computers, and the only one that would work with StreamYard is in it's as bad as it looks behind me. That's my craft room. And I'm working on a project. So anyway, the rest of my house doesn't look so much like that, but what does it matter anyway? So I wanted to invite Kim on because she knows a lot about the case, and I talk to her all the time. She is, oh my God, so valuable to us in everything we've been doing here, because I couldn't make it without you. You know that, Kim?
Oh, man.
And
Thank you. Well, we're a team, and that's what we do. We work together.
Well, we're trying to reunite others to work with us. And, the truth of the matter is I am, for lack of a better word, Richard Boyd, kind of a bitch. And I'm really passionate about this stuff because I'm not really a normal person. I don't really watch TV and I won't go watch Tiger King. I feel like this is my community. This is a issue here, and I'm gonna put as much time as I can into helping resolve it. So it's something that I think about all the time. You talk to me about it all the time, and of course the rest of our team. And the truth is, I have gone off on a lot of the researchers in the community because I am so passionate about it, because I don't really understand. I didn't understand all the different factions in the community. Anyway, I definitely do owe some people apologies, but I'll start with you right here because you're on the line with me. And that is, just last week I went kind of ballistic missile not on you, but about the case and how frustrating it is and how scary it is and all of that. So thank you for that. And I know that I think I even made you cry last week. Isn't that the truth?
Hey, it's okay. This case has been very intriguing, to say the least. And, that's what we're about. That's what friends are for. That's what we're for. Researchers are for. And sometimes you cry and sometimes I cry. We get frustrated because we're stuck, We're stuck in a spot and we're trying to work through it. And if that's what it takes sometimes, hey, that's what it takes.
Well, and with my own, with even the reason that I got into this case because of my brother's case, I was pretty naive coming in. I was absolutely appalled. I have so much passion for it. And it's been really hard to get my own research out because I'm an excellent researcher, but I'm not so good on a computer, and I'm not, good at a lot of other things. This whole YouTube thing, as here I am. But there's been some people that I've met that are so fucking authentic in the people that I've met. And of course you, and I won't work with anybody that isn't real because I can't risk it. We really do fear for our lives. I'm trying to keep us all safe. I'm trying to keep, I shouldn't keep saying that, I guess. Yes, we fear for our lives, but yeah, we're strong ass bitches and we're not giving up. So,
That's right.
and I also wanted to say that through the people that I have met that have come forward,
Amazing.
I
Yeah.
can't even tell you. I mean, you know some of them, and
Yep.
I'm not just talking Anna or Kim or whatever.
Nope.
There's just real people coming forward, and
Yep.
it's been a real pleasure to work with them.
Without a
And
doubt.
while I'm there, I don't mean to cut you off. I know I'm a
No.
shitty interviewer. I'm very sorry about that. But this time, as I'm making this, I can see that people are on this chat. And
Awesome.
I just want to say hello to Bekachoo. I was just thinking about Bekachoo today because, Kim, I know you love her. And it's sad because I talked to that young lady on the phone for a few hours and she gave me the time. She didn't just say you're a lunatic or whatever. We had a really, really nice conversation.
Yep.
And even when I saw her at the rally, she is a lovely young lady. And
Yep.
she is so real and passionate about Brendan. And, I think might be some kind of misunderstanding out there. But anyway, Bekachoo, you rock. You are amazing.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely would love to work with you on anything. We're always looking to unite this community. And so is Bekachoo, I believe.
Yep.
So, and I know you're a big fan of Bekachoo's art too. So I am.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway.
Oh,
Good to
yeah.
see you, but and I see others on the chat. You guys all rock, but I can't focus on the chat. I might even turn it off because it's very distracting to me. So today, I'm sorry, Kim, do you want to add anything?
No, I just want to totally agree with you. Hey, Corey. Hey, Nan.
Yes.
Hey, Anna.
Yeah.
Becca.
Yeah.
Always, you guys support us, and that's what's important. Like she said, we do have a lot of people that are coming forward, confidential informants, whatever. And yeah,
Well,
we got a lot coming. So
yeah, it makes my day to see her on here.
Hi, Ronnie.
And I don't
How
know,
you doing?
I don't even know how to do a live. I mean, I'm learning this. I just learned it yesterday to get on with Dave, but it's kind of interesting, and I have a lot to learn. But I'm always, 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 begging for anybody else to help me. I'm looking for, like I told you last week. Do you think Brad Dassey would help me get my research out in a coherent way,
I would hope.
so others can understand what I'm doing? But for me, I'm always working on the case, or talking to Anna or Kim or you, or trying to make the next connection I need to make. So I'm very bad at getting my research out. I'm not trying to withhold it. I really, I'd accept any help. We are accepting any help.
Yep, exactly. And all the help we can get puts us that much closer to seeing Stephen and Brendan walk. And basically, that is what we thrive on a daily basis. I mean, I talk to Courtney maybe once, twice a day, and it's always about the case. We try to, or we're trying to bring what we have found to you guys so that you'll know where we stand. And we do appreciate everything, any kind of help you guys can give us.
Yeah. And it never leaves my mind that they are living in cages. And I say that a lot because I want people to visualize, because they're fucking caged.
Yep.
And it's bullshit. And that's what makes us keep going, because it's ridiculous. And we know so well that none of it is true.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Okay, on the line of, well, as I talked to you today, and I told you a little bit about what I wanted to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of have to. I think I need to explain a little about why we're even in this place of talking about it, and some of the obstacles that have been in the way all this time that we've never talked about it. So I will, I mean, people might know or might have watched my Ricky Hochstetler video, and we did a lot of work to figure out every player in the Ricky Hochstetler case, which led us
Absolutely.
to what we found on this state trooper, now state trooper, ex Manitowoc deputy Luke Kramer.
Hmm.
And in doing that, well, in my brother's case, I looked into things. In the Avery case, I looked into things. In the Hochstetler thing, I looked into case. And of course, the Trax Tavern is a whole another thing I looked into. But in the process of doing that, we all came together. We figured out what we thought was going on with the Ricky case, right? And at that time, we took it to Ricky's mother because I had already met with Debbie Hochstetler. I would say 2019. I don't know when. It seemed like it was kind of winter, but anyway, I met with her because I had discovered these pictures, and I wanted to meet with a local,
Hmm.
and I knew about Ricky, and I knew about her case. One of my friends said to ask her about the paint chips, so it was like this a random thing. I Googled her number, and it gave me her number, and I called her right on the phone, and she was like, let's meet, or she said she would talk to me, and I said, can we do it today? So I went to Manitowoc and sat with her, and I had my laptop with the pictures, and in that we had a conversation that day. So this was the first time meeting her. When I showed her the pictures that I'm alleging are the Trax Tavern / Maribel pictures, I didn't know at the time that they were in Maribel. At the time, I knew that they were from the Trax Tavern party from the Ben Bennett case. So she looked through some of the pictures, and I got to one that I thought was Deb Kakatsch, and she didn't really want to look too long. And I don't know, she said, you need to get a hold of this Jim Thyrell, okay? Because she dated him. They had recently broken up, but she was like, if anybody knows who's in these pictures, Jim will know.
Hmm.
She gave me his number. In that conversation, we talked about my brother's case. We talked about her son's case. And when we were talking about her son's case, she said to me that she had an envelope that was never opened, that she got from Deb Kakatsch. She's never opened it. And in the meeting with her, when I was sitting there talking to her, I was like, holy shit. And I said to her, can I open it? Because, of course, I want to know what's in a sealed envelope from Deb Kakatsch that nobody knows about. What is it?
Right.
So Jim also confirmed that she had told him that. And apparently it was an issue in their relationship because Jim never knew that she had this thing, whatever. So Rubber Ducky, the YouTuber, I talked to her. She put out a video where she discloses that this envelope exists. And in her video, she says that apparently, I think it was Debbie Hochstetler has an unopened envelope from Deb Kakatsch that has all these answers, whatever. Well,
Right.
that is not all what I said or assumed. There was an unopened envelope. That's what I knew. That's what she told me. I did not know what was in it. I didn't care really. I mean, I guess I did, but you know what I mean. It was whatever. So this video comes out, and Foul Play, another research community, got really uptight because they, support Deb Hochstetler. I also support Deb Hochstetler. It's not in the way that you might all expect, but I do
Yep.
support this lady. Anyway, I tried to get into Foul Play Discord page and resolve it. I also had a letter that Debbie had written to Dean String
Hmm.
when she was dating Jim, and I have the letter, and it says
Yep.
right in it, I have an unopened letter from Deb Kakatsch. Nobody even knows I have it.
Right.
Okay, so um, I was a little bit uptight because then Foul Play and some people from TikTok Manitowoc were out there, basically saying that they had contacted Debbie Hochstetler, and what I was saying was untrue. Well, of course it bothered me because it wasn't untrue, and I wasn't trying to pull this woman into any drama that goes on in this community, but I also I'm not keeping anybody's secrets. I told her that too. I'm not keeping
Right.
responsible or adults' secrets. I can't say responsible, but anybody's, especially when it can lead
Yep.
to them being let out of cages.
Mhm.
So apparently I don't really even want to go much more into this, but I'm just going to say that when we figured out what we found with the Ricky Hochstetler hit and run, we got a hold of Debbie Hochstetler. She met with me and Kim Ducat at Kim's house because Kim lived right out there in Two Rivers. And she was reluctant to meet me because she was really pissed off about this video that came out. And I understand that. And
Yep.
I took accountability for it when she came. But anyway, she came over, she met with us. We did record the conversation. We record every conversation because we need to, because I can't trust a damn thing that these counties say. And I've already met with Jeff Wish from DCI on my brother's case, and I asked him to record it, and he claimed he didn't, and he won't release the video to me now. So, yep, we recorded Dean Strang and Jerry Beauty, and of course I'm going to record Debbie Hochstetler because I have to be able to back up what I'm saying. So,
Exactly.
and mainly for the research community, which is fine. It doesn't matter. I can do whatever the hell I want. And I did record Deb Hochstetler. She knows that.
Yep.
Anyway, we gave her the information, and at the time, I just dumped every file I had on the poor lady. Really, you know,
Email Billy?
I had sent her. It was. Anyway, I'm always anxious to hurry up and get the shit out because I'd like to go on with my life. I'd like to get them out and go on with my life. But anyway, we met with her for that time. In the talk with her, we did discuss her saying if she had the envelope, and I have that recording.
Yep.
She said that she was mad at herself for saying anything to anyone because she betrayed the trust of Deb Kakatsch. I knew when I talked to her that day, she said she was worried for the safety of Deb Kakatsch. So absolutely, I get it. I get why Deb doesn't want to now say, I have this envelope.
Mhm.
So I believe the envelope probably contains the autopsy. That's probably what it is. And I think that's what she's saying pretty much it is, and that she's never looked at it because it's horrible. And it is fucking horrible. It's horrible to read about your loved one being dissected. It sucks, you know? So, which is exactly why we have a coroner. Anyway, I realize that this may seem like a betrayal to Deb Hochstetler, but it was a very big betrayal to Courtney Skinner when it was put out that I was lying when I'm working so hard and I'm already risking my life.
Absolutely.
And I'm not lying. I don't lie. So I got that going for me. And so what happened is we met with Deb. I gave her the information. Deb Hochstetler has had the information for over a year. And I was in communication with her on Facebook, just on Messenger, just, kind of maybe I'd give her a little bit more, or I'd say to her, I know it's overwhelming or whatever. And then she was real slow getting back to me on any of it. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? And I did. I said to her, I'm not really sure why you're not. She said she was very, very busy. It's hard to understand, but she was busy. And okay, I get that. But one thing I want to point out in my experience with Debbie Hochstetler, and I think she's a lovely woman. I think she's very, very passive, which is why we've never gotten this case solved, because I think you have to be kind of a cougar, barracuda, to make a face what they're doing out there. But like I said, I don't know. Sorry, I got sidetracked. I don't mean to drag Deb Hochstetler into the muck of all of this. Yes, she is a grieving mother. Yes, she's lost a very precious part of her world. But I feel as though I'm trying to get people and locals to come forward. And Deb Kakatsch, at one point I heard she was on a gag order by Zellner. I don't know of that truth. We tried to
Right.
get a hold of her through the Ricky Hochstetler page when we were on it. And it sounded like Kim put a post up one day, Kim Ducat, saying, I'm looking to get a hold of Deb Kakatsch, just a public post. And I don't know, someone in the relation to her got back to Kim and said, she's not on here, and be careful saying her name, and I'll try to get her the message. Well, in our meeting with Deb Hochstetler, now mind you, she's pissed off at me because of this video by
Yeah.
Ducky. And
Yeah.
she's hurt because Ducky says, well, Deb says, I think the video's gone. I can't even refer back to it because they achieved their goal of getting that video taken down and claiming it was fake news and that we were lying and all this shit. But anyway, see, there I go. I'm all off track. I'm trying not to bring up so much of the drama because even with foul play and how much they've created so many obstacles for us to do what we're doing, I still want foul play to work with me and us.
Exactly.
I think they have a really great group
Yep.
of researchers and people, and they're really solid in their, in what they're doing.
Yep.
And
And it's not like we haven't asked. It's just like we've been ignored because I know myself, I've asked twice, two different people. One of them accused me or was very accusatory. The other one never even responded. So, yeah, we have tried, but I think that there's a few obstacles in the way, and I get it, but I don't think it's fair to Ricky, and basically, and I don't think it's fair to Stephen or Brendan as well. I think that I think that um, it's time to let bygones be bygones and work together. And because Courtney and Kim, Anna, um, do such good work. And I mean, this is like walking up, knocking on doors. This is like inviting DCI to your
we almost
home.
knocked on Deb Kakash's door. She was outside unloading
Yep.
her groceries one day, and it was me and Kim and Anna, and we all just looked at each other like, should we? But I'm not trying to make anybody feel uncomfortable. And
Right.
if I ever do get the chance to talk to Deb Kakatsch, it would be a very planned. I have some questions. It's not going to be just driving by and trying to get her to talk to us. So.
Yeah, but I think Nan has some questions for her also. And
Okay,
maybe
I
we can
can't
get
look at
some of
those
that
questions
resolved.
right now. I can't look at the questions because I'm already flustered. I'm not very.
No, I meant for Deb Kakatsch. That's what I meant.
Well, hey.
Yep.
We haven't even started on this mission. I'm just trying to explain a
Right.
little bit about it. And I also am trying to explain how we got here
Yep.
and how we stopped talking about Deb Kakatsch because I do believe, yes, I believe she's a very compassionate woman. I think she's a key to this because she knew the fucking county was corrupt.
Yep.
So in our meeting with Deb Hochstetler, like I said, she knows we recorded it. She also she says that, God damn it, this is terrible. I'm sorry, my head is just not very clear right now. Let me try to turn this off. I see you, Nan's life, but I gotta let you go because I'm so distracted by it. I might not know how to turn it off.
What are you doing? Turning your mic off?
No, I want to turn off the chat because it's really
Oh,
distracting.
okay.
I can't
Well,
stay
just there's
focused.
an X in the corner up there
Yeah,
at the top. Just turn it off.
I can't. I don't know how to because I'm so new at this. But anyway, it meant a lot to me. I tried to clear my name. It wasn't received well. They refused to clear my name. So I continued with the work. Deb Hochstetler had it. And then it got a little touchy because I'm like, well, what are you doing with it? And I at that time I had sent her some messages, and in one of them, no, I didn't ask her in that. When she came to our meeting at rickyh.com, it had said that there was a $26,000 reward. So
Yeah.
we asked her, just out of curiosity, part of the research, hey, we found this website or this reference to the reward money. The reward money, we weren't looking for it, but we had found that Tom Kusurik was on the board of Crime Stoppers. So we didn't know if that money was from Crime Stoppers or from, just other people local. We didn't really know what it was. So we asked about it. And all she said was that money's gone. That's what she said. So in this meeting, again, and we didn't care, we weren't, okay. In the meeting again, she was asking about, or we were asking her about, okay, I don't even know if I can do this interview anymore. I'm so flustered.
Relax and breathe.
Right. It's because I'm thinking in my head about the recording that we did.
I know.
So I'm trying to play that back, the crucial parts of it. In the recording, she says, I said to her, Deb, when I met with you, you told me there was an unopened envelope. And she says, I know I did. And she said, but Jim screwed up when we did our video, because Jim said she has a DNA, a letter. And so Deb said she was upset because Jim was going to say DNA or something. And I said to her, why, if the coroner gave you DNA, where does that come from? I've never heard of that happening ever in the whole world. And she said that Deb gave it to her in case another car was found and they would have misplaced his DNA.
She needed it.
Okay. Yeah. So of course, foul play doesn't really want that to come out because it's DNA. And I'm still searching for anybody on earth that received some of their loved one's DNA after such a thing. To me, the importance of that is that Deb Kakatsch knew something was going on, knew that something might go on because she gave her the DNA, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds like a couple of the researchers came here and I heard they met with her. She let them go down to a notary public and make copies of what was in the envelope. And I think that the story goes is it's the autopsy, and possibly, I don't know. She says she can't look at it. I get that.
Well, we've reached out to those people also and asked them to share that information, and it's like crickets. We get nothing. So yeah,
they won't. And then they put out a video talking about how Debbie never said there was an envelope, and the woman that did the video sent me a message saying later on when she understood what really happened, because I tried to reach out. I went into their Discord page. I have every message, and I tried to resolve this with them. So it's probably been about 2 years now that this stupid letter's been out, and I've been trying to get these people to remove a video calling me a liar. Anyway, that's where it is. I resent a little bit that they aren't supporting Deb Hochstetler in a more physical way of actually supporting her. And I am not supporting Deb Kakatsch. Yep, she's a cool lady, and I do want to talk more about that. And I just want everybody to know on the chat, I see it's really slowed down unless I screwed something up, but keep talking because a lot of good stuff comes out of that too. But I know I know that Deb Kakatsch was also the coroner for Carmen Boutwell's autopsy.
Yep.
And you might know a little more about that, but according to years ago, I heard a podcast with her brother John Boutwell on it, and I don't know, it was Do you remember that, Kim? Did you ever hear that one?
What did you say again? I'm
It was
sorry.
it was some kind of podcast that had Carmen Boutwell's brother John on it.
I Yeah, but it's been such a long time ago. What I understood was that they agreed to give the remainder of Carmen Boutwell's bones to I think Kathleen Zoner so she could test. Um, he said that in that one, he said that uh, no, that the sheriff's department didn't pay for the funeral. They did. Um, I mean, he Carmen's brother's kind of doesn't want to talk about it. He's kind of flighty about things that he says. That's just my personal opinion, but
Well, it's not easy to trust anybody to talk to,
exactly,
you
I get
know,
that.
and they
Yeah,
see what happens when they do.
but I did listen to him, and I mean, he has a lot of compassion for his sister
Well, I
and
would think
for
so.
his mom. So,
And he's got a lot more to say, So, but what
yeah.
I want to point out about that, as I recall, is that Deb Kakatsch was removed from the Carmen
Mm-hmm.
Boutwell case
Yep.
because I believe it was on 2 occasions she reached out to the Boutwell family and, was, you know, giving her condolences, and they thought it was inappropriate. And it sounded like John made it. I think he made it sound like the family thought it was inappropriate, but I'm pretty sure the county thought it was inappropriate.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
again, it shows me that Deb Kakatsch is an authentic person, that
Mm-hmm.
she's compassionate, and something went on. And like you know, after my brother's killed, and they say he dies plain, and after we had the case reopened, and during the time they were framing Stephen, so 12 years later, after Mike Klaser secretly sealed my brother's case, and I talked to him on the phone, he had never contacted my mom. Nobody ever
Oh
told
yeah.
her that my brother didn't die plain, that he was literally raped to death. Well, I'm glad they didn't tell her that. I wouldn't have let them tell her that. But, so really would have been cool for a coroner to show that type of compassion towards our family.
Mm-hmm.
So it does say a lot about Deb Kakatsch to me.
Yep.
And obviously, what we saw in Making a Murder, I don't know why she'd be on a gag order with Zellner. I mean, she doesn't really have anything to do with the case. And it looks like Zellner's in no way going toward the corruption of the officials in the area. So I'm not sure. It's pretty easy to say someone's on a gag order, they don't have to talk.
Well, I mean, she wasn't even allowed on the property, and the only reason that they would put a coroner out there is if there were human bones, and it's pretty obvious if they turned her away and said, "Hey, we're going to arrest you," which, in all reality, she could have arrested them, but there was no human bones there. So that to me was a big clue as to, we don't need you here. We'll just arrest you if you walk on the property. To me, that's
Well,
like
and they
ding,
didn't
ding.
need her there, and they didn't want her there because she's probably fucking ethical.
Yeah,
I'll tell you,
exactly.
that's exactly why they brought in Mike Klaser.
Yeah.
And mainly because Mikey's in the little club, he's in he's got a secret, that he can't tell anybody about. So, and I'll
Yeah.
bet Debbie, well, I have a theory, like keeping her off the property, and, I think they kept Jim Tyrell away too when all of that went down,
Yep.
but
I
that's for
agree
another
there.
day. Um, like I was
Yeah.
trying to say before, okay, so in our conversation with Debbie Hochstetler, she also says that when Kim had put that message out on the Ricky Hochstetler page, a year or 2 years ago, whatever the hell, that she claims she got a hold of whoever that got a hold of Deb Kakatsch, and the message was, "Do not talk to Courtney or Kim." Courtney Skinner, Kim Ducat. Okay, so, and I get it because Deb is worried now because that truth is going to come out, and whatever. She's probably pissed at us, thinking we're the devious ones, but we're not. What I want to say is that, for one, Deb Kakatsch was elected as
Right.
coroner. She was elected because people trust her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I can speak for my very good friend Kim Ducat, who just lost her boy, and us having to go through his entire autopsy. I can tell you about reading about how they stripped the fucking tendons off the back of my brother's neck in his autopsy. And we need these people there. That's exactly why they're there, so we don't have to look at such a thing.
Right.
Imagine if Karen Hallbach, well, there aren't any pictures that we know of them. They might have it recorded, but you know what I mean? The very job that Deb Kakatsch was elected for, she needs to be held accountable for. And I get it that her life was in danger. I get it. But you know what? My fucking life is in danger. And I am here. If Deb Kakatsch wants to come forward, I have her back 1000%. But I'm not keeping her secrets. And if her life is in so much danger, then she more than ever needs to come forward with it. And I'd like to add to this that in my experience with Debbie Hochstetler, I've never, ever, ever heard her mention Brendan Dassey once, not once. Even though there was corruption in her case, there's corruption in this case.
That's right.
I heard she watched Making a Murderer, but she didn't really follow the case. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't know she holds such a big part of the puzzle, but that's a little bothersome to me, because I know if Ricky were sitting in a cage, she'd want all of our support, you know?
Exactly.
That's just the way it is. That's every day, every single day. At the end of the day, I know you, I know me, I know the people that we work with are still saying, let's get some rest, because how are we going to get him out of a cage tomorrow?
Well, I'm just really interested in next week. Next week's going to be very productive for you, I believe. And
Yeah, we got
know,
some stuff to do.
I just can't wrap my head around the fact that, we're out here and knocking on doors and inviting people over and handing over this, that, and the other to DCI, and the fact that they didn't even have it to begin with is rather disturbing to me.
Well, because I figured all that out too. I actually should do a little follow up to my Ricky Hochstetler one, because I do have some things that I didn't put in. There are a couple things that I did make some mistakes on. But one of the main things I might have forgotten to say is that the K&J Collision, which Luke's sister is married to the guy that owns it, was in Cleveland. So everybody that's like, they went to the Herman's Cleveland salvage yard, the K&J is right by the Herman's,
right around the corner, pretty much.
Yeah. So, and I'm not going to sit there and say it was Luke. What I'm saying is that they intentionally overlooked this kid, whatever his part is in it. And it was Rob Herman, who DCI went in to investigate, that ultimately at the end says that Luke's dad's Suburban is not the right one. It's obviously not the right one. And it's the exact same make, model, everything that they looked through 20,000 cars to find.
Well, why was it hidden? That's the huge question. All that time, why was it hidden? And why was it said that, oh, he could park it there because he had privileges? And why was it covered with a tarp? And why was his explanation, oh, I only use it for hunting?
Well,
Really?
that's the thing too. When they do the Department of Transportation lookup, they say there is one Suburban that comes back to them. And Bill Kramer says, I have another one just like it that I use for a plow at home. But they don't. So it's just in so many ways. And the paint chips that Deb Hochstetler remembers were tan and black. They, good old Colburn and Link told her, that could be a primer coat. But I'm telling you, the Manitowoc County Sheriff cars out there were like a light tan gold and black.
Yep.
I don't know what happened, but people know what happened, and the cops out there know what happened, and I don't understand why they're still keeping Tom Kuceric's secrets. Like, really? Probably because, well, I don't know, but
Buddy,
So,
buddy, buddy, buddy. That's what I say. But you know,
let me see. I have a little list here.
there's just too much out there that is so mysterious even today that, and we found so much. And like I said, you handed over some stuff to DCI and they were like looking at it and like reading it and like, we didn't have this. Really?
Well, he
And
didn't say that. He wouldn't
well,
say that. But what happened was is I had a stack of all my, like where I found where Marv Kramer's business it was, where I found the engagement of Luke and Jody Ice, who when they interviewed Luke in 2004, his girlfriend was a deputy herself. So I had all these things to not just walk in and say, I believe this. I had all these records to say, here, you never, Rob Herman never mentioned he was sitting right in front of Marv's auto, who's Luke Kramer's uncle. So here's their address. I'm proving to you right here, advertised all over the newspapers. And so I try to hand that to the DCI agents and they'd kind of look at it, but they just like they did, Jeff Wish did when I met with them on my brother, I try to put it in their hand and they wouldn't even hold it in their hand. They'd hand it back. But when I got to the file about, Luke Kramer, see what maybe I didn't articulate this very well, but what they did is they shoved the file on Luke Kramer in the Crime Stopper report because they didn't give the Crime Stopper report to DCI. DCI came in strictly to look at Robert Todd Herman. I don't even think they knew when they came in. But
right,
DCI comes in and looks into the whatever you're accusing of corruption, but they actually treat you like you need to be the world's best goddamn cop to prove that they're corrupt. You know what I mean? Like you need as much evidence as they have on, they win. So it's kind of funny. But you just recently we just sat and listened to the DCI interview with Jeff Wish and Scott and
oh God,
and I'll tell
that
you
was
what, that is not the way that guy talked to me.
right,
Because this is how I talked to that guy. Actually, I wasn't even this nice. I was not this nice at all. But I'm also not guilty of fucking framing two people like
right,
I believe Scott is,
right.
Yeah. So it's gonna get weird now because I have to bring up once again in the world of Courtney, the Trax Tavern / Maribel Pictures.
Right.
And Kim Ducott and I, met with Dean Strang and Jerry Budine. That was a year ago in October, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
See what happens. What happens is we go out and do our thing, whatever it is, and we're not trying to get famous out here. We're not trying to get subscribers. We're not, we're seeking answers and we don't feel like we have a lot of help. So we're doing so much of it on our own. So when we go to meet Dean Strang and Jerry Budine, we're not doing it for other people. We're doing it for us because we had the opportunity. I begged Kim, because she had a connection with Strang. And I'm like, can you just try to have him talk to us? Because we both had questions for him.
Right.
And for whatever reason they did, that was it. And we didn't go in one way or the other. We were humans that wanted to have a human interaction. And we walked out of there not really knowing what to think. I mean, we had our own, perception. We thought Dean Strang was pretty cool. He was way more laid back. His hair was longer. He was wearing jeans and stuff. But Budine was pretty damn stuffy.
Yeah.
And it felt like he was kind of there because he needed to be there. But whatever, they gave us several hours of their time. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the Trax pictures. And at that time, I didn't know I think I might have known. Actually, I think we might have been right just learning that they were done in Maribel. So,
Well,
uh,
didn't you guys go to Maribel? You and Kim go to
well,
Maribel and actually look?
oh yeah, there were 5 of us.
Yep.
Yep, 5 of us and one of them a well-known researcher. And we went out there. I had the tracks pictures on my iPad, and we could literally find the same trees. And I took pictures of all those trees. I did to do overlays, but I don't know how to do overlays, and I'm not going to do them. So, like I
Yep.
said, if anybody wants to give us a hand, that's great because it's there, it's them. I wouldn't be. I think I tried to explain that when I first started looking at the Trax Tavern pictures, I kind of freaked out a little because I'm like, this can't be real. I certainly didn't try to make them all in there. I thought I was going crazy. I thought I was going to get killed for finding these people in the pictures. I had some major anxiety about it, but it's it took me 1 month to leave the community to just do this and research this, and I'm
Yeah.
not just
Becca.
not
I
just
just I just want Becca to know, yes, you guys did go to Maribel Caves. You did go.
oh yeah. And we're not saying it's at the caves. It's actually at the parking lot of the caves. The same tree where you can see where the picnic table was. It's all there. So, if we ever get that out, that's that. But anyway, in my research of doing that, of course, I am able to tie everybody that I'm saying in the pictures to the area. The one person that I cannot in 1980 is Andy Colburn. But
Right.
the guy that I'm saying is Andy Colburn, that picture in the right on the I'm gonna the it's the Lori Bembenic blog spot is what it's called. Lori, Laurie Bembenic blog spot. And in section 5, it says, can anybody identify anyone in these pictures? So, like I said, I in those pictures, and even on the internet, that picture that I'm saying is Colburn, somebody has put a circle around that picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don't know who, don't know why, but I'm saying it's Andy Colburn, and I know he comes up as being in the military or whatever, but I'm just gonna assume he was home for a weekend. That's all I can say.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it's Andy Colburn. Anyway, so as we brought these to Buting and String, and they did take the time to look at them, and they were pretty cool about it. They were like, that is kind of crats, and they asked to look at the one of Sherry Culhane because they
Mm-hmm.
interrogated her for 3 hours, and Buting was saying, I'd know. I wasn't looking at them, but anyway, he believed it could be Sherry Culhane. When we showed him the ones of Deb Kakatsch, his advice when we left the meeting was that he also thought that Deb Kakatsch was a compassionate person and that she was being honest about things. And he
Mm-hmm.
said, talk to Deb Kakatsch,
Yep.
the person that you need to talk to about being in these pictures. She's the first one that you should try.
Right.
Now, I know I've said this before. I'm trying to make people understand that I'm not just making this little accusation. I've been working at this. I've been pretty serious about it. You know that. And a lot of my pictures came to you and
Yep.
you helped me. Yes, no, you were with me right through it,
Yep.
because I
Yep.
was saying this can't be, come on. And yes, of course I can track them back. I sure wouldn't be here. And I did bring them into Manitowoc County Sheriff. Kim was with me. Kim Ducat was with me that day. And we tried to record it. I had my mom's iPhone. And when I handed it over to Kim to record, her job, she was walking a little better, but her job was simply to keep the camera on me and whoever talked to us.
Right.
So when we went in for that meeting, it was Larry Ledvina
Mm.
and Lion Larry.
Mm.
And it was really kind of shitty because, of course, I'm pretty sure everybody in the town knows who Kim Ducat is. but Larry didn't look at her. He wouldn't even acknowledge her as a human alive. And maybe because she had the camera right on him and he was uncomfortable with it. But unfortunately, I forgot to push record when we did that. So we didn't get the video, but now maybe I think I put it public that sorry, Larry, we didn't get you on film that day. Wish we did, oh boy. But you know, we gave him a kind of a typed up statement because at the time we knew we had 6 people that would say it was Judy Dvorak. We knew it. We know it's them, but we got to get people to come forward. But we're like, let's get Judy. Let's get Judy.
Yeah.
So finally at the end of our meeting, because you know I'm a little condescending to Larry Ledvina, and he says to Kim, "Stop recording." And I say to Kim, "You don't need to stop recording." And then he says, "This meeting's over." And we were like, Kim goes, "Yeah, see." So anyway, we left then, and then we continued on with whatever we were doing, whatever research or whoever we were talking to. And then we went back a few months later. And that's when Larry was like, you know, I'm rocking back on my chair because that's how he did it. You know, how do we know you didn't Photoshop those? You know, like he was so bright to come up with that one, you know. And like I said, not the question you would expect a honorable sheriff deputy to be asking you when I'm serious. You know, we weren't going in going, hey, this is fun. Let's just fuck with them. You know, I was very serious saying, I want to know why. You know, when we went to Judy Dvorak's and left it there, I gave her my goddamn phone number. This isn't just something I'm toying in. I have a lot of information on it. And I got so much grief from the alleged truther community saying, no way, it's not them. That again, I'm like, you know what? I don't need to prove to you people. I just need to get more people to come forward and help me identify people in the pictures. And it is happening. And even people are saying now that, you know, that their family member, you know, like their stepdad has this trunk and they think there's some in there. I don't know who I was talking to the other day. Someone was talking about those sound like these pictures that my mom had, you know, so it's cool. And I said yesterday when I talked to Deb Kakatsch that we also know randomly, or if it maybe or not, that Chuck's in the pictures. And yesterday it said that a woman that was raped by Chuck pointed him out in the pictures. And I just want people to know that this is another woman. Okay, this isn't Kim Ducat. This is another woman. Okay, so somebody that knows him quite closely.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So we're going to get to this part now because I'm going to allege this, or is this an accusation? I don't know. Whatever I'm going to do right now is I'm putting out a message to Deb Kakatsch. And I want to know why. Wait, I got to fix my screen for this. So hold on.
Other way. There you go. There you go.
Okay.
Down a little bit.
That's Andy Colburn. Okay. Well, these are some hermits. Anyway, I have all that information on Imgur. Okay, but this picture here is who I'm alleging. This woman is Deb Kakatsch. Okay. I'm also saying that the lady, everything's backwards, huh? Right here, that's Sherry Culhane. And then the brown haired lady here, that's Bridget Brennan. Okay. I got others way in the back here. I got this. But anyway, of course, nobody wants to believe that's Deb Kakatsch. Got it. Totally understand that. She was going to Lakeshore Tech back then. She got her nursing degree back then.
Well, isn't it strange that I have a picture and I have a picture of Deb Kakatsch, and then I have a picture of that picture and a picture of Deb Kakatsch now, and they look identical. It's like, wow.
Right. Yeah. I'm gonna try to, and they do. And you know, a lot of, like I said, people were like, that's not Deb Kakatsch. I've seen her. You know what? It's Deb Kakatsch.
Absolutely.
And we know
Absolutely.
from the people in the background, because we've tracked them, okay? And I know it sucks, people. It fucking sucks.
Agreed, Nan. It is our opinion. It is our opinion.
It is my opinion. I'm asking Deb Kakatsch to either confirm that she's not in these pictures or,
They're not.
give us a call.
Yep.
Because right now I'm saying she is. And I'm also saying Tom Kusurik. I'm saying Kenny Peterson. I'm saying Jean Couché. I'm saying Tom Bergner. Who else we got? We got
Schultz.
Sherry. I'll do my next one on Sherry Culhane, people, because she won the wet t-shirt contest that year.
Fred Schultz is in there.
It's her. So obviously, again, what I'm trying to say is the relevance of these pictures is that everybody is fucking bribed into doing what they want. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I believe the party, if it may have been political, it may have been something that have been going on at Fox Hills and carried over down to Maribel. We know Chuck's in the pictures.
Yep.
We absolutely know Dave Dvorak's in them, Judy Dvorak's in them, Bill Morris is in them,
Yep.
Mike Ott, Christopher Kotz, the guy that trains the canine dogs in Manitowoc County. We have pictures of him with Mike Bushman, and it's him, Mike fucking Bushman. He's in Making a Murderer. He's in the pictures. So there's also a couple in the background of the picture of Alfred Schultz, and I identify the woman in the background. I'm not going to say her name right now because I'm going to try to contact those. I'm going to try to meet them. But the same person in the background of the Alfred Schultz picture, which Alfred Schultz got lost his position for, she's in the background of the other pictures with these cops. So
yep.
I am alleging that they're all in these very important Trax Tavern pictures, and I believe that it was some type of either political or very strange party, maybe for Tom Kusurik's election to sheriff. He was elected in 79. Not sure. Don't know. We can use any help we can take.
Yep.
People, I don't know. I don't know how to. I need to be in the community to get more people to come forward, but you have to understand that the people that are in these pictures are now in their 70s, and they don't really want to, they're not really interested in even looking at the pictures, but maybe they'd come forward with it.
Yeah.
Because Sherry, in 85, these pictures would have been more important than they even were in 2005. So, like I said, Sherry Culhane, I believe, won the wet t-shirt contest that year. $200. The Lori Bembenek blog spot is a really great place. And like I said, the guy that Tim Meyer, he's the one that he leaves comments. You can't leave any more comments in the blog spot because, sorry, Kim, I forgot to put you back in. Because Ira Robbins has now passed away, so the blog spot is kind of frozen. But Tim Meyer leaves comments, and when I talked to him, he told me that people were being followed over the pictures, and that Ira believed that Christine Schultz was murdered over the album of pictures that she had in her possession that had all these cops in them.
Yep.
And it certainly was. And that this is kind of an interesting part of it too, is that we all have a little story about what we believe about Laurencia Bembenek. And, the main thing about her is she was a really strong woman who was trying to make it as a strong woman. And back in that day, she was saying you're discriminating against women and blacks. And that's why she came forward with the album, because she was saying you're letting these men get away with this shit and these parties are going on and you're accusing me of something and I'm losing my job over it when all of these other guys can get away with it. And Mary Warrer, Bembenek's attorney to this day trying to get her, exonerated. She said that there's a lot of important people in those pictures. And I think there are. And again, I'm going to ask, who released these pictures to that blog spot? Who released these? Well, I think it might have been, I already got them from Tim Meyer, but these pictures were, Tim Meyer told me, are what he published in the 80s about this trial. So it's these cops in this county. So I don't know why. I think it was all part of the media control and how the media plays and spins shit. So any answers, anybody that knows any more, would be great. So, and I also wanted to let people know, if you ever need to contact me, I say Kim Ducott's number is in the book. Anna's
Yep.
pretty out there. Kim, you're always available, and you've made some really you've made some of our greatest contacts for us,
Well,
including getting Stephen a letter to contact Kim, because
yeah.
they hadn't talked in so long.
And what's funny about that is because I never, I just wrote him a letter because Kim was so, down in the dumps, and I wanted to try to make her happy.
Mhm.
And I just wrote him a letter and asked him how he was doing and told him who I was. And I said, you have an aunt or cousin,
Cousin.
cousin that loves you unconditionally, has forever. And here's her number. Why don't you just holler at her once in a while? And by the way, here's my number. Of course, I never expected it, and I never have gotten anything from him, any response from him. But he did tell Kim, he said, Kim, I want you to know that your friend Kim sent your phone number to me, and I thank her. So
Yeah.
that's enough
And
for me.
they lost touch, I believe, because he's got limited amount of people, and there is a lot of drama. And poor Stephen,
Oh my God.
he
Yeah.
doesn't know who. Well, I think he understands now. There's very few he can trust,
Uh-huh.
and it's sad too, because I know Kim talks to him, and of course she gets a little inside scoop on maybe some things, but I really don't believe he knows exactly what's going on. I know he doesn't know that he's got this many people supporting him and this many people looking into, exposing the truth to get him free. There's no way he could possibly wrap his mind around it.
No
But it's
way.
pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Man did a great thing for him, even though, a lot of what they showed is not truthful. I will say that
on Making
because
a
it is
Murderer.
true. It's a lot of it, it was all staged as far as
Well,
I'm
yeah, but
concerned.
not by. I don't think any of it was staged by Making a Murderer or
No, no,
Netflix.
no, no.
It was staged by the county actors doing
Mm-hmm.
their performance to make it look like they would never have the audacity to frame this man again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my a little bit of my theory is it changes every day. I'll go where it leads me, wherever it leads me, and of course, knowing what goes on in this area and the stories I've heard, I mean, I talked to a researcher a couple weeks ago, and she was talking about a case from around here she was looking into, and I just started crying because it's so disturbing. These cases are so fucking disturbing, and to know that you know that the one that she was talking about, to know that the cop that was involved in it, that's still living without having to be accountable for any of it, and to know that they're capable of doing what they do to women. So of course in my head I look at all the players and think she's got to be dead, but I also don't believe there's ever been anything to prove that she is dead. And I believe that they didn't just, sit down for a few minutes and plan to frame Stephen Avery. It was very calculated, very diabolical.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
the
And
thing that would ultimately, no matter what, free them. If anything came forward, would be if Teresa Halbach walked right back into the picture. Because if there's no crime, they have nothing to be accountable for, and how could they have known, right? She didn't need to die. Nobody needed to kill anybody to frame Stephen.
Oh no,
But as I
exactly.
said yesterday, and I can't get out of my head, how did they plant that RAV on there without Chuck knowing?
Yep. Yep.
How did the RAV sit on that property even for 30 seconds without Chuck knowing?
Yep.
So, there's whatever it is, it's time to come forward, and I guess if I'm out here risking my life, and I am, and I'm very, very, oh, I'm so worried for Kim, Anna, so I don't want people to be afraid to come forward, but I really believe if enough people come forward, we can knock this out. And we do have people, and it's all the right people. So if you're sitting back thinking that what isn't relevant, or that you're gonna, it's gonna be hard to get your stuff out here, I just want you to know that we got a good group now. We got some people that will support you and keep anything confidential. And
Yep.
we're happy to meet with anybody.
Robin, I don't know if Steven saw something at Trax Tavern when he got busted for burglary. I couldn't answer that question, but it's a good question.
I
And
I wonder if Steven maybe didn't steal an album when he robbed that bar, because I've read through that his statement on there, or how they prosecuted him on that. And it sounds like the guy that was with him pretty much said, Stephen Allen Avery, or whatever the fuck his middle name is, Stephen Avery did this, and Stephen Avery, smashed the window, and Stephen Avery took the quarters. So the other guy sounds like he pretty much got out, and it all went right to Stephen Avery. Well, like I said, they were video cameras were pretty popular. The bars out there are, come on, it was only 1920 that the mafia wasn't running the god's darn area. It's one generation removed. Come on. And these bars, of course, they're doing that. They're it's not even just a Wisconsin thing. It's all around. You're gonna have cops that keep an eye on your shit for you, right? And get their cut for doing it, right? And it's usually a pretty big cut, because there's usually some big shit going on. So
yeah, I believe Chuck was up north, Robin. So,
what's the
but
question?
wasn't Chuck up north? She said, wasn't Chuck up north?
Well, Chuck was up north the day they found it, and he had to be up north. He had to be off that goddamn property, because, as you can see, not one person turned and said, "What about you, Chuck?" You know? And how convenient that Chuck was gone that day. Wow. Right? Because what would Chuck have said if Pam Stern was like, "Hey, Chuck, we found it over here"? A normal guy would have been like, "There's no fucking way you found it over there." But how is Chuck gonna explain that somebody planted a RAV on his property? How is Earl gonna explain that when he's driving around in a golf cart, pulling up the branches that are covering the RAV with a gun in his hand? If you're on a golf cart, you're gonna ride around, right?
Yep.
And I suspect, or I question whether the RAV wasn't there before Teresa was even there. There's a lot of stuff that needs to come together. There's a lot of deception, a lot of people working with other people.
Well, Becca, you know what? You say I personally feel the family is innocent and it was all law enforcement. I can't disagree with that, but I can't totally agree
Hey,
with that. But
here's what else. Okay, I'm sorry, Kim. I'm listening. Go. Keep
go.
going.
No, I'm finished.
Becca, I agree. I am not really, well, I don't agree, but I'm not trying to put the Averys into this. What people don't know, I think I tried to explain it to Becca, is that before we put out the information about what Chuck did to Kim Ducat, we tried to get a hold of Carla. Of course we did. I mean, many times I actually had a texting conversation with Barb Kim gave me her number and I said I would love to speak with you. I'm looking into the case for because of the corruption I faced and I'm trying to help you get your kid free. And she said she'd meet with me, but she never got a hold of me the next day. So then still Carla wouldn't get a hold of me. And even there was an argument on Twitter and I was saying, hey, you got my digits, get a hold of me. She never did. So it was another good amount of time. We knew for a long time that we were going to talk about what happened with Chuck. And we did want to talk to Carla and Barb. Absolutely. We didn't mean to call anybody out. And if you remember the video it came out on we didn't call out the other people. We talked about Kim, and yes, it was we. And Kim Ducat is my dear friend, and we have an unspoken friendship and rule. But we didn't come out and say Barb. We didn't come out and say Carla. The person interviewing us did. So we weren't trying to, And I'm sorry. I went and met Chuck Avery. I was like, I'm going to patronize their business. I'm going to, shook his hand, everything. And I didn't want to believe it either, but I absolutely don't believe that it could have happened without Chuck. And the truth is out about Chuck. And as much as I want to like and respect everybody in the family and not put it on them, I have a very fucking good friend that was raped by Chuck Avery. And that's all I give a shit about. He can be a good guy every day after, but he needs to be accountable. And I do believe the victim, absolutely. And I believe the other victim that I've talked to too, that's been raped by Chuck. So whether or not Chuck's involved, I think that he is. I could be wrong. I think he's working with Colburn. I think he's working with Manitowoc County in some capacity. Because none of that shit could have happened without him knowing about it. So if Chuck wants to talk to me, he is very welcome to. I will have a weapon with me. I don't think he will. I'm not comfortable going to talk to Chuck by myself, and obviously the people that I'm working with are also not comfortable going to talk to
No,
Chuck.
Becca.
Like I said on Twitter, there was a time when Carla was threatening to sue me about what we were saying about Chuck. And I welcomed that. I said, sue me, because we do need a case to come forward, because other women are coming forward. And it's pretty, I understand that you want to believe in the family, but that family lives on that crime scene. And Brendan's still in a cage. So, I mean, why are we sitting here doing this with our every fucking day of our life and the very people that live there? What is stopping Barb Taddick from getting in the fucking face of anybody that can get her child out of jail? Something more is going on.
Yep.
I do not believe that anybody of the blood relation, I don't believe it was the plan of the Averys or Scott Taddick or any of them to do this. I believe the plan was created by law enforcement and they were either forced or very much manipulated into doing whatever part they had to do.
Yep. Owed a favor. That's what I think. Owed a favor.
Well,
And I mean, that's what that if you owe law enforcement, they're going to make it living hell. They're going to use your family. They're going to threaten your family, and it's going to cause you to have to do what they ask you to do. I personally believe Kim Ducat. And no, Becca, I don't believe that Avery Unchained would make a hate video about anybody, because I don't believe that Avery Unchained hates anybody. I think he hates the situation that Brendan and Stephen are in, like the rest of us. And I think that he's out there trying to do exactly what we're doing. And if it means that he has something to say about Barb, Carla, Chuck, Earl, it doesn't matter. It's about those two boys, those two men. They are in a cage. They are being told what to do 24/7. Nobody can ever understand what that's like. I do understand. I've worked for 2 different prisons. I know what it's like to control another person's life, and it's living hell. And I'm not saying, don't get me don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that those 2 are being mistreated, but there are so many other innocent people that are being mistreated. But bottom line is, they're told when to get up, when to go to bed, what to eat, when to shower, and it's crazy. And yeah, so no, I don't think Unchained would do that though. Hey, Corey, go ahead, Court. Sorry.
Well, and I think that with any of the issues going on within the community, I really think the best thing to do is to contact whoever it is personally. And you're talking about Avery Unchained, real nice guy, Becca, and Becca's a lovely person, and have the conversation. I want to always say, to this day, I want to talk to Barb Taddick. I'm really very confused about it, but I also believe that there is nobody Barb can go to. Nobody. So nobody that knows what went on there can come forward. Nobody. So maybe this is silliness, but maybe they're also going to see that there are a lot of locals coming forward and they do have the support, right? That would be nice.
Well, that breaks my heart.
It's a big secret, you know. And if people are innocent as they say they are, then let's talk. I think I'm pretty fair. And Barb needs to be heard. She needs a goddamn spokesperson. Kakatsch, you should do that. She needs her voice heard.
Yep.
I do not believe Bobby did this. I don't know if he's involved in some part of it, but that kid did not do this. He didn't do it any more than Brendan did it. He is not that smart, and he didn't have that much to gain by it, So if it leads that way with Zellner, that's fine, but it's tragic because the truth needs to come out. And maybe it will very soon here,
I hope so. We're working on it. We're working on it real hard.
Yeah.
Real hard.
I think Zellner's angle at this point is that it was Bobby and she's taking her focus off of law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, but I am not. And I feel like, yes, like it is well known, it would be insane to go after the whole state. But if these pictures are them, which I believe that they are, it's really not as hard as it looks,
Yeah.
No. Somebody knows about these pictures. Somebody wants to talk about these pictures. I guarantee it, because they fucking know. And maybe the people that I've identified that I can get a hold of, but it isn't safe to come forward. So we'll see.
You're not allowed on.
She's the one I want. I'm like, come on, Judy, open up. Let's talk.
I would love for them all to come forward and say that it's not them and prove that it's not them, because
Judy's gonna have
oh my God,
a bunch of people because they're like, that is absolutely Judy, and they're like, and there's Dave. And Chuck's gonna have to prove he's not in those pictures because he's so fucking in those pictures, it's wrong. Right. And Chuck isn't stripping in the picture. He isn't masturbating in the pictures. He's in the sideline. And like I said yesterday, why isn't he using these pictures to bribe them to say, let my fucking brother out, or the pictures are coming out?
Yeah.
Because he's already bribed with the pictures, right?
Yeah.
And because he won't speak up ever, he's got some favors coming too, right? He's in the club.
Well,
and maybe Steven, maybe he wasn't arrested for all the places he robbed. Do you really think that when they put out that Stephen Avery, took pool balls or pool quarters or sandwiches and shit, they're gonna say, and an album of pictures of naked law enforcement?
No, I doubt that.
Are they ever even going to mention that there's a missing album? Probably not, but I would assume that Chuck might have had the album.
It's possible. Very possible.
All I know is that people were dying over having the album, and that Ira Robbins, like I said, sent something about Jason Zipper, who was law enforcement, thinking that he was suspicious. And it sure looks a little suspicious that the only picture we have that I'm saying is Andy Colburn. Somebody already has a circle around. You can see his hair is a little red in the picture. To this day, his hair is red.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And the fact that Alfred Schultz was paid somebody to kill his wife and Laurencia Bennett.
Well, that's the story. That's the story
stupid,
is
man.
that he paid Fred Horenberger, and Fred Horenberger is an interesting guy because he died in a police shootout, and that is a really cool thing for everybody to read up on too, because he's in the cops are after him. He runs into this elderly couple's house and he takes them hostage. So the cops are outside and they know he's in there, and he's talking to his brother on the phone, and he tells the people he's going to kill himself or kill them or kill themselves or something, but he takes them in the basement because he doesn't want it to get on their carpet. Then he's in the conversation with his brother on the phone. His brother's trying to talk him out of this, what's going to happen. And he says to his brother, I had nothing to do with Christine Schultz's murder. I had nothing to do with it. And lo and behold, he shot himself. All those cops, he's sitting there right there saying, I had nothing to do with it. And he shoots himself. Nobody else around. You think he shot himself?
What a liar.
I'm pretty sure he did not, because they really needed it looking like he might have been the one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Milwaukee Police Department wasn't all kinds of corrupt, and that's funny because that's where Jeff Wish comes from. Jeff Wish, yep, I think his dad was a sheriff deputy out there. His mom's real big in the police department too.
Yep.
And what scares me and what I know, what I'm saying about, being in danger. Do people realize we're scared of law enforcement? I mean, they get that, right? I'm not scared of Scott Toddick. Right. Not at all, Scotty. A little bit. Like, I won't go onto his property. You won't have to worry about that, but not really scared of that guy. And I'd still like to give Barb a voice. Becca Chu, help me out. Okay? The woman needs to talk. They're coming for her next kid. That's all I'm going to say. They're coming. However it's going to go, keep yourself gagged. But I'm telling you, don't stay gagged about anything if you have the truth. Because we can get this done. Or sit back for a while. Watch. Because we're going to get this done. We got it. You won't believe who I'm talking to next week. And I already got a phone call or a message from somebody talking about another huge case out there with oh man.
We are talking, Robin, we are talking about the case, honey. I don't know where that came from, but okay. Oh, yeah. I get it now. Okay. I understand, Robin. No, but yeah, we want everyone, all the truthers, to get together. We want everyone to help. The more people we have looking at this, talking about this to one another, and putting these podcasts together and putting the information that we research that is, that's truthful, guys. The more we do this, the more comes out. And the force becomes bigger. And it's always been said this: as long as Josh Cole's name is on the top of Stephen Avery's paperwork, he's never going to get out. Never say never. Never say never, because there is always that one little loophole, and that's what we're looking for. That one little piece of that puzzle that nobody, so far, the whole world has worked on for all these years. I know 6 of them have been in my life. 6 of these years, since Ma'am came out, 6 of these years have been dedicated to the release of those two men. And that is all I live for every single day. Every single day. I go to bed with it. I wake up with it. Ricky's case is the same exact thing. And that's all we need, guys. Everybody to band
There
together,
and with
become one.
right, and with what I feel like I'm doing on this end is what I need to do,
Hi,
what I
Jinx. How you
contribute,
doing? Just wanted to
and
say that. Sorry I busted in on you. Sorry.
who are you talking to?
Jinx. Hi, Mystic Jinx. How you doing?
Yeah. Hello, Mystic Jinx. Seriously, that is pretty awesome you're here.
Mm-hmm. Happy you're here.
What I wanted to say is that I feel like I am best to do this because I don't have a problem going in talking to Lion Larry, Ledvina, and I have made some connections around here, and I'm available if people want to come forward. They can reach me, and I'm way happier meeting anyone face to face. Absolutely anyone. I choose face to face.
Yep.
So what I'd like to continue doing what we're doing, but I want to offer anybody who wants the information. I have it on thumb drives. I do have it downloaded. When I figured out these tracks pictures, I had a little dead man switch because it scared me so much. I'm not trying to withhold any information on any single thing. I'm not really good at computers. I did figure out how to get them on that thumb drive, but that's pretty cool. But even when we watch other people's videos, we know that they have other things that fit with our things, and then we don't talk to each other, so we can't really communicate on what we need to.
Right. But we need to band together. All of us need to band together. We all need to work together. We
Well,
all
we
need
do,
to
and
pray.
it doesn't, I do feel a little shitty about having to call out Deb Kakatsch and Deb Hochstetler, but I'm in doing this, and I tried to say this before, in saying Deb Hochstetler's name, that's how we keep her safe. We keep her name alive. We keep
Uh-huh.
people knowing that we do support her, and she can be as mad as she wants at me. I got that lady's back. If
Oh
anything
yeah.
happens to that lady, Deb
Yep.
Kakatsch, hey,
Yep. Definitely.
I'm not against Deb Kakatsch. Give anything to speak with her. Sit down with us. And in my conversation with Debbie Hochstetler, I said that if Deb Kakatsch knew how many people are like dying to talk to her, to
Oh
get
yeah.
answers, and you better, well, if people don't know it by now, I mean, I'm standing up for Ricky Hochstetler that I didn't even know. You're damn
Yep.
right I'm going to stand up for his mother. You're damn right I'm going to stand up for anything Deb Kakatsch does.
Yep.
I'm not trying to drag Barb down. I felt like I was pretty fair in trying to reach out to Barb. I did. I wanted to hear her side.
All of
Her
us.
not speaking to me makes me, think it's suspicious. But I also have been, I don't care what anybody says, I'm the first one to say they'd take Barb out in a fucking heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
Easily, if they don't take Bobby first. And they'll take out every fucking one of that family if they need to, as long as it keeps them safe.
Yep.
Then where do you go? How do we know if Barb even knows the truth? It sounds like we have to navigate Scott. I'm not afraid of Scott. I'm not taking any shit, but if Scott's got some truth that he's ready to put out, that's cool. They know. They've got to know. If they don't know, how about give us a call? Because we are finding out. Right? I'm sure that the Averys, if they have no part involved in this, hit a sister up. Because let's put some pieces together in a puzzle, right? And I don't care what Zellner's doing, Barb, you're going to lose another kid. And if you believe in his innocence, or if you know, talk to me. Because guess what? If I talk to Barb, I'll be able to know. Maybe
Yep.
that's why she doesn't want to talk to me. Maybe she's on a gag order. I don't know what it is.
And it's not that we haven't tried.
She needs to be heard. I
Yeah,
don't know, get yourself your own lawyer, Barb. Get yourself a spokesperson. Speak up, stand up, speak up.
yeah, because the only way we can help any of us, all of us, and any of y'all in this chat can help as well, is to talk to her, get her voice heard. We
Well, she's
need
been
to
thoroughly
hear from
attacked,
her.
and I'm as guilty of it too. But
I
hey,
get you,
I didn't
Becca.
force her to
You're
give me
right.
I didn't force her to give me the finger when I took a picture. Who wouldn't have used that? The lady doesn't like me, I get it, and she won't talk to me, and then I'm looking at her with my camera and she flips me off. It was just a moment, Barb. Come on. But anyway, and I did say the other day, if Barb has something to do with it, we're going toe to toe there, Barb. So speak up. Let's talk.
And I get that. I get what they're saying. That Barb did say, "What do you want, Stephen? A dead sister?" I get that. And she said, "Well, where is this going?" He said, "It's going where the evidence shows it. Come on, help us, help
Right.
you, help us to help you." That's all we want to do is help. We want to get those guys out.
Well, we want to help, but we also really can't. And part of the only way that any of this is going to get worked out is to be brutally fucking honest. And it's not pretty. I know I'm not the easiest person to deal with, but I don't really give a shit. I'm trying to get on with my life. I'm
And
trying to,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
and,
And
and right.
if there's anybody in this chat that I've hurt or whatever, I want to work with you, and I apologize. And that's all I've ever tried to do. I just want to work with everybody, all the truthers.
And divided just like the community and the town and everything. We're never going to get it done divided, and they know that.
Right.
Law enforcement knows that.
Yep.
And I do believe that they want and would take every fucking family member if it meant
Exactly.
that it would keep their secret hidden. And I
Exactly.
say flat out law enforcement frame this. So if anybody's tied into it, yes, I believe that they were pulled in, tied in, but I'm hearing some other stories too about some dirty stuff. So, you know,
But I do
Barb,
believe, one by one, law enforcement, what Becca says, I do believe one by one they're going to they will if they get the opportunity. We have more voice than law enforcement. And as long as we keep preaching it and preaching it and preaching it, guys, it's
well,
got to
we
do something. It's got to, oh, it's so, guys, it's so frustrating. It's
it's
just,
not fair to Stephen and Brendan.
no,
And
it's
and I
not.
like with Stephen and Brendan too. I mean, look at how convenient it works for them to have these two not even talking to each other. I mean, isn't that a beautiful thing? And what a tragedy, like they're
Yep,
both victims of the corruption in the county. And I get why Stephen's upset with Brendan and I don't even know if Brendan, I mean, I would assume he thinks Stephen's guilty. I don't even know, but divided they can't do as much as they can together, and the fucking law enforcement know that, the lawyers know that. So same with us here. I mean, we have some fabulous, passionate, maybe a little bitchy people working on things, and maybe even in the family, but I will stand absolutely beside Barb.
yep,
If I talk to Barb and I feel as though she's telling me the truth, I will have her back 100%. If
yep,
they, Barb Taddick, if they are have framed you as well, or you feel your life is threatened, you contact me immediately.
yep, yep,
Absolutely. And I know I'm not the only one that stands behind you.
yep,
And I do think there's a lot of that going on. And I do think that there is absolutely no one she can go to if she went to any single, there's absolutely no one that Barb can go to. So maybe me, maybe Becca, maybe me and Becca, maybe me, Becca, Kim, all of us. Don't know, but there's only one chance of getting these guys out, and that's with the whole truth. So anybody that plays a part in it, it isn't going to be half the part that Manitowoc County and the state of Wisconsin
Yep.
played in it. So
Because they're corrupt. Oh my God, they're so corrupt. Oh,
they're
just
corrupt.
makes you want to throw up.
Everybody has some really great information on the corruption, but until we all get together and make one big stack of it all and physically bring it in and walk in, there's no point in any of it because we need to at some point show up. And I think that's what goes on with the rallies too. They're a little bit, I guess I learned this last year that the rallies are very much sponsored by certain groups. I did not know that. In my heart, if I hear of a rally for Stephen and Brendan, I'm there. I'm there.
Yep.
I don't care if I don't like the people. I don't care about anything else. I'm going to be screaming my face off
Yep.
for their freedom. That's so there too. These rallies are always so small because people are so divided and
Mm-hmm.
you know and people, there's a lot of controversy over them. And then very few people show up, so it comes off as nobody's looking at it. And we all know we know there's millions and millions of people that believe in their innocence, but I'm trying to let people know that there's thousands and thousands of researchers out here that have never given up and we probably have amassed more information than making a murderer even put
out.
out. you
Yep.
know,
And that's ma'am one and ma'am two.
yeah. And
Ma'am
I'm
one
not
and
in
ma'am
love with
two.
the ma'am three. I didn't really particularly like the second ma'am because
Well, it was Zellner. It was all Zellner.
well,
And
and
just
it wasn't because I was against her. I was very much a believer in her. I just felt like it was very much, a show, I resented it very much because lawyers don't go to that extent, although they should, And I know what my sisters and I went through to get what we had on my brother, and literally having to do a life-size drawing of a 2.5-year-old little boy with the bruises on the spots they were at to try to figure out how they even got there, So yeah,
yeah.
I didn't appreciate it looking like this is what lawyers do. No, this isn't what fucking lawyers do at all. I mean, my God, if you can even get most of them to call you back. So, yep, that was a good show. But now, as we know, it was really just kind of point right at Bobby. And I don't agree with that. I don't. I'm not saying he might not be involved, but I know the kid didn't do it. So,
Mystic Jinx, I just want to say one thing to you. I'd love to connect with you again, and I'd love Carrie to talk to you again and apologize to you. And I realize that this is alive, but I really would. And I hope that Barb will at least try to talk to Courtney. At least
or
try
let's
to
get a
talk.
game together. Let's make her feel safe or whatever. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
I mean,
to
I
me,
know I'm not in Wisconsin, okay? I get that, okay? I would love to go. I do have a few health issues at this point that are kind of
I'm
holding
not
me back,
saying
but
I mean, of course you're welcome, but I'm just saying that I guess if I mean I do go back and forth about Barb with what comes up from day to day. I have a lot of problem wrapping my head around a lot of the things that happened, but you know, I
yeah,
uh, I don't know who she'd come to. I don't know why she'd ever feel safe or why anybody would believe her. To me, I really hope she's not involved, but I guess, like I'm saying about pretty much everybody else, they didn't have a choice. You don't get a choice because
right.
they could have turned around and been like, you know,
Exactly.
Bobby, you sure don't want this coming back on you. Earl,
Hmm.
Barb. Well, Barb, the computer's in your name, Barb.
Yeah,
Off as a jealous woman, Barb, and we know you smoke pot, Barb. Yeah, they talk to me.
that's the whole thing that everything seems to hinge on. I
They're
mean,
interrogating.
we got you over a barrel now.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to do or say or whatever, play our game. And this is what we need to know. If we don't know those things, that law enforcement is got, you know, their thumb in your side the whole time, we can't go further, you know. And I
Well,
get it. I know that Beck talks all the time to Barb.
we
I
can't
get
go
that.
forward, but we're also just stuck in the place of saying, all right, if she won't talk, then then she must have something to hide or whatever. I don't know. I'm not going to ask Barb to come forward right now. I do ask of her. I don't even have my phone anymore. You'd have to get a hold of me through Kim or something. And I don't even know how Kim feels about that right this second. I know that she thinks Barb needs to talk too, but I'm trying to I'm trying to unite again the researchers so that the locals feel supported and coming forward and actually are supported. And I think that they
Yeah.
really are, but we just need to get over some other things. And we've all come a really
A
long way
positive
in
where
this
there's a
game.
negative.
What? What?
I said, yes.
Oh, you're cutting out. You're gone.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
No, I'm not gone. I'm here.
Well,
I'm here.
you're cutting out on here a little. Are you there, Kim? Okay. I
There
don't
you
know
are.
why. Okay, but you're cutting out. I can't hear you.
Wow.
Can you hear? All
Weird.
right.
Okay. I'll be quiet then.
Okay. Well, I haven't really been looking at the questions. I mean, I can see them here. Um, I don't see any questions that come up real. So if anybody wants to,
Yeah, probably Becca.
I can't. My brain is all over. I can't look at that and understand. But I will go back and look at what you've all said because I really appreciate you being here. I didn't even know I could get people to find this, but that's really really great. Like you were saying, Mystic Jinx was on. It doesn't show up for me. Mystic Jinx, I got some stuff for you if you would work with me. And yeah, it's pretty amazing stuff. And I'd love to hand it right to you so we could get
You're right,
going
Mystic
on that.
Jinx. They did lie. Auto Trader did lie. Can
What?
you hear me, Court?
Yeah, what are you saying about Auto Trader?
Um, Mystic Jinx made the
Yeah.
statement that even the people at Auto Trader lied on the stand. Yes, they
Mhm.
did.
Yeah.
Yes, they did. You're right. They sure did.
Because as I keep trying to, I really believe that the same way they talk to Brendan is the same way they talk to everybody. It's
Yep.
complete manipulation through any communication with those cops.
Mm-hmm.
And if, even didn't, when we listened to the interview with Jeff Wish and
Oh,
Dieter,
oh,
yeah, 3 times, I think it was 3 times they say to Scott, "Do you mind if we record?" And then the other one knows to start talking right away to get Scott's mind off of him asking. And Scott says 3 times, "I don't want you to record," and he's still recording it. And they're
yep,
so sweet to Scott, it makes you want to puke.
yep,
Like, oh come on, you guys are not sitting here talking to him like he's, Prince Charming or something, but.
right,
That's even if it were Auto Trader, because I think they also deceive very much the hall box. They think that we whoever went in there and was like, we know that it was Steven. He's trying to frame this another way, and we don't want you to look into it. We don't want you to, see what happened to your poor sweet daughter.
right,
And then they probably didn't look at Debbie Hochstetler. She still to this day can't look at the autopsy.
right,
It's that hard for her. So Karen Hallbach doesn't come off as the kind of person that's going to be like, let's thumb through and figure out this crime. She's going to believe what they told her, or they could be part of it as well. We all know their reaction was really strange. There's There's still a lot more. And the one thing that seems to have been missing all this time is the people of Manitowoc coming forward. So let's try to get it. And hell yeah, if it's Avery, let's do it. Let's talk. You know, the Ricky case too. That Lincoln Colburn, Ledvina and Colburn do that interview with Debbie Hochstetler in 2016, where she records them, and they flat out lie to her about who it could have been. You know, so they're constantly manipulating even the victims' families. You know what I mean?
Right. They're
And,
they're they're at them. They're digging at them, and I get it. I
yeah.
get how people could be pressured. I mean,
Well,
even even and I'm just going to say this. I did listen to Chad's whole um whatever he did, podcast or whatever, when he went and explained, um and it made a lot of sense to me, the two different techniques, where one is very aggressive, which is the read technique, and uh, the other one is very compassionate. Well, I'm a father too, and put my hand on your knee, and oh Lord, if that had been my child.
Well, don't you think they did that to Barb when,
I don't
when
know,
they got Brendan? Don't you think they were like, Barb, don't worry. Of course we know it's not Brendan. Of course you have nothing to worry about. It wasn't Brendan. And then they did exactly what they did. And
Yep.
that is where I say, yeah, I feel like she's a victim. She didn't know that was going to happen. No way, right?
Right.
Then they
Exactly.
fucked her without thinking for 1 second. They do not care about anybody but the state. That's it.
I
And
agree. I agree with you, Becca. I mean, oh shoot, who? Robin. Jinx is an amazing researcher, and that's why we're reaching out to everybody, because all the truthers need to be together. It takes more heads than just three, or just, whatever. It takes
well, because
all of
there's
it.
some stupid rift there between, there's some disconnect with me and Mystic Jinx. I met Mystic Jinx at the rally, but
Hmm.
because there's so much other chaos and drama going on, that there's like there's people that are being kept from talking to each other just because they're not in the same friendship circle or something. That isn't the way I do it. I'm just doing what I'm doing. If people want to look at it and join, that's great. I don't want to have to beg anyone, but I also don't like to be silenced. And anybody, anybody looking at the Ricky case needs to look
Yeah.
at what we're doing and what we're looking at.
Ricky
And
case, Stephen
everybody,
case, Brendan case, all those cases all together.
everyone.
And I do agree that maybe the Hawbacks had a little bit of, you know, I mean,
Well,
something to
the amount of manipulation is off the charts.
the well, yeah, that, not only that, but even if you go back and look at Mam One, the look on Mike Hawback's face, not only on the salvage yard, but coming out of the courtroom and talking to the media with that smirk on his face, just told me right then and there, dude, you know something. You know something. And it
Um,
just, you know,
that's why the picnic at Clinker Park that I just downloaded from last September, where Tom Fallon put on this party for the Hallbox or whoever. I'm not really clear on all the details, but the entire time I sat and made my video, I sat there for, well, I was there quite a while, let's just say. But the whole time that I was filming that,
hmm
I thought that Mike Hallbach was Bobby Dassey, because he was standing like with his arms crossed, with his legs spread, and his body language was more angry. Not the Mike Hallbach that we saw making a murderer, the bumbling, And then Tim Hallbach, he looked like, I don't know, he doesn't look like a lawyer to me. He looks like a nervous Nelly. So it wasn't even that I honestly that day thought that I was filming Bobby Dassey. And then when I got their license plates and ran the plates, I'm like, okay, it was Mike Halbach, but what the fuck, Mike Halbach? You sure aren't anything like I saw on like you portrayed yourself before. Now you're a little tense.
Well,
I'm Halbach.
Jinx says this, am I wrong sometimes? So don't blow my head up. Ego is not everything. Evidence would be nice. What do you guys think of 2 rolls of evidence that don't seem to be developed yet 16 years later?
What is that about? What evidence?
I don't know. I mean, there's
Is this in
there's
the chat?
just huh?
Are you reading that from the chat?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's her question.
She's asking us about 16 years of evidence. What's
Mhm.
the question?
What don't we think that's been
What don't we think? What?
Okay, she said, what do you guys think of 2 rolls of evidence that don't seem to be developed yet 16 years later?
What does that mean? Is she talking about the guy that we met that says he has a roll of film, or am I on something else?
I don't know.
Okay, wait.
Explain, Jinx,
Somebody came
please.
through rolls of film that have not been looked at and they haven't been developed. It's 2 tags. This is the first I've heard of it. Other than the guy that we met in Manitowoc that said he has the roll of film that shows a green RAV4, I've never. But again, I don't really know where. I don't.
They probably are, Jinx. You're probably right. They're in a secret location because I couldn't get H1, which was the dig site and the measurements and the this and that. And Amanda Bonnell she swears that CD is ruined. Let me tell you, if it's on a CD, it's on a computer. I guarantee you it is. And I know that for a fact because I asked Jerry Buting, and Jerry Buting said I had those photos. They're in a box, in a shoebox in my garage. I don't know where, but I had those photos. So who's
Beauty?
lying there?
Who said that?
Huh?
Who said they had him in a box?
Jerry Buting.
It's hard to know because their evidence isn't real either. There's like when we
There are,
did all of
Jinx.
our investigation into the turnaround. Remember, Kim? We were like, okay, so Bobby says he left, she left. Steve said she went left. All we could do is go by what Steve says. We don't even know if what they wrote down is true. If you know what I mean, there nothing that. If I go through my investigation that Calumet County did on my brother's case, they didn't really do shit. We did it all. Every record that we got, and we naively gave to them. And then they do the investigation and act like they were the ones that acquired all this information. And their wording on everything is to just keep them safe.
Yep.
Like even at times you don't know, like he says, I made contact with. You don't know if he went to their house. You don't know if it was a phone call, a fucking text message. Why wouldn't they be specific about what kind of contact? Because it kind of looks a little better when you actually sit with somebody and have contact, right? So
Right.
they know exactly what to do at every turn to keep themselves covered. But I don't think that we're ever going to get the piece that's going to solve this from them. They're never going to give it up. We're never going to get the phone call that's going to expose what happened that day. And like Jay
right.
Jurgis, when I met with him for the Ricky stuff, he said you can fill out freedom of informations all day long, and we're still only going to give you what we want.
Right. Exactly. And that's
And he also
exactly
said
what I did.
whatever we decide about this case, whether it's resolved or we get the right person, you may never fucking know. Well, he didn't say fucking, but he said that. So it's beyond the law enforcement that we don't trust, and it's just for the people. It is the people in this community, in this research group, all of them that have gotten it this far. It wasn't another law enforcement that came forward and said, "Hey, I'm a cop and I saw how all this went down and this is all some bullshit." No, it's the people. So it's going to be us. And if we can come together and unite in a way that others feel comfortable, the right person's coming, you
Yep.
know,
Yep.
and the right person does know. And I know it's a big goddamn secret that might get someone killed, but you know what? Maybe somebody has enough integrity and morals to make that move for the right reasons.
Well, I know that you and Kim do that, and Anna. The
Do what?
three of you together, the three musketeers. That's what I call you. The three musketeers. You guys got. Ugh, I
But you
don't
know
know.
what? It isn't because we're, it was out of necessity,
Of
and
course.
I've really kind of dragged definitely Kim Ducat into some situations that weren't really fair and got, worked with people that really, really disappointed us and turned on us. So,
Well, and Mystic Jinx is right. There are some roles of film that have not been developed. She's right. Hey, Court, and you know that for a fact.
I'm not following the chat because I
I
can't,
know.
but I will look at that and I'm real curious about it. But for me to try to figure out what you're all talking about, I can't right
Well,
now.
I'm
So
not.
I get it.
I was just expounding on what she was saying about the roles
Right.
of film. I'll jump out of the
Well,
chat
we'll
that
see
way.
how it goes. And Mystic Jinx, you got on here. I think you got on here a little late, and you might want to hear what I say about Deb Hochstetler before you want to talk too much. But like I said, I'll be accountable once again to Deb Hochstetler. I have nothing. I have nothing to hide. I'm not always the most rational when I'm doing this research, and if I have hurt her or brought her into harm in any way, I apologize. But I'm standing with her. I'm begging her, stand with me.
Yep.
So yeah, we got this. Next week is going to be really interesting too, with some more stuff coming. So if anybody wants to contact us, do so. And I don't know why I always have to do a 2 hour video. That is not ideal for anybody, but it just works out that way. But I want to cut it off because it is a little
Yep.
annoying here.
Yep. Thanks, guys, for coming. I really appreciate you guys. Love to work with all of you. Hit us up. We're open for anything, and above all, hey, we want to bring everybody together. The more of us that's together, the stronger we are. So that's what I have to say. Thanks again. Thanks, Courtney, for inviting me. I really enjoyed it.
Hey, we could, if I figure all this out, we could have all kinds of people on here. But I never wanted to figure this out. But we're doing it. It's great, and thank you, Kim, for everything. And
You're welcome.
we really do. We do have to thank everyone
Yep.
because I won't even. I'm not even gonna bullshit about it. I do use everybody's information.
Yep.
I do go to all different social media to find the things that we find and get us the leads. And, so I'm grateful for everybody out there as well. We just need to put it all together. And I
Yep.
want
We do.
that too, let's all get together. Let's plan the next rally and let's get it done this time. Let's not just plan one day of speaking up. Let's plan to come for a rally and not leave until we have Mark Wiegert walked out of his position.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be really awesome.
Yep.
Or somebody held accountable, or at least if we could get the locals to see that what they have to come forward with it matters too, because they have a big part of it. And that's, these locals are pretty awesome. So I'm excited to get more of their information out.
Yep.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Who knows what's coming next? It's a crapshoot around here. We're just trying to get stuff out and get people to connect with us. So
Yep.
thanks everybody. Have a great night and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye bye.